So if you stumbled across this video, you are probably somebody that is new to concealed carry, or maybe you're somebody that's looking to change up their setup and you're faced with a pretty big decision. Should I carry inside the waistband or outside the waistband? This is a pretty big decision because whichever one you choose is going to kind of dictate what your concealed carry looks like. It's also going to dictate a little bit about what your EDC looks like that surrounds this setup and how it gets used on a daily basis. So today we're going to do a quick video breaking down the differences between inside the waistband and outside the waistband. We're going to go over some of the pros and the cons. We're going to talk a little bit about what each one might be better suited for each individual, and then give you guys some tips to help you be successful at it. So if you're new here, thanks for stopping by. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. We put out videos and content like this all the time to help you guys have a better concealed carry experience. But let's get into it today. All right, so before we get into the specific pros and cons, just for anybody who is very, very new to this, let's do a quick breakdown of what outside the waistband carry and inside the waistband carry kind of look like. Outside the waistband carry, just like the name dictates, we're going to be wearing the holster exterior of our belt on the outside of our body. Now, not all outside the waistband holsters are made the same for concealed carry kind of purposes. We don't want to look for a paddle holster or anything that we're looking at that would be more for like range use. Something like that is going to be huge on the side of your hip. It's going to print quite a bit. It's going to be almost impossible to find any way to conceal it. So what we're looking for is something like what you see here on the table. It's going to be a more form-fitting. It's usually considered a pancake style Kydex holster. That's where there are two pieces of Kydex that are pressed together and your firearm goes in between them and it kind of pancakes either side. These holsters are going to be much more low profile. They're going to be more form-fitting. They're going to contour around your body, and they're going to make concealed carry possible in the outside the waistband position. Conversely, inside the waistband, again, just as the name dictates, means we're going to be putting the holster on the inside of our pants. Now, this is going to be either at the strong side position, kind of like if you look at your body as a clock, and you looked at your belt line, your belt buckle as the 12 o'clock position. This strong side carry is typically going to be on the 4 o'clock, somewhere between 3, 5, 4 o'clock position. The other side of inside the waistband carry is appendix, which is also a very, very popular position. That is where we're going to carry kind of anywhere between the 12 and 130 position on our bodies. Another great option for inside the waistband carry. Now, let's get into some of the pros and the cons. Now, the first pro for outside the waistband carry, kind of the low-hanging fruit, is going to be comfort. When we are hanging this holster on the outside of our body, it is going to be much, much more comfortable, especially for long periods of carry. The holster is going to have far fewer sticking points. The firearm itself will have far fewer sticking points into the sides of our bodies in comparison to inside the waistband carry. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean inside the waistband carry is always uncomfortable, but outside the waistband carry is going to be far more comfortable on a whole to most people. The second pro of outside the waistband carry, especially for those who maybe are definitely new to concealed carry in general, is going to be the ease of draw and draw speed. This is because we are, again, putting this on the outside of our body, and at most in the concealment scenario, you're going to only have a jacket or a loose-fitting shirt over top of the holster. It's then going to be much easier for you to clear that garment and get to that holster, and because there is no belt and body sandwiching together, it's going to usually be a little bit more consistent for your retention and a little bit easier to draw. Now, cons for outside the waistband carry, as much as it is extremely comfortable, it is not going to do as well in concealment. Again, this is because this is on the outside of our body. We need to be very, very particular about what garments we are wearing, the jackets, the length of the jacket, the size of the firearm, and all of that stuff really needs to be optimized in order for us to conceal this successfully. The second con of outside the waistband carry is kind of the ease of access to everyone else. So say we are out and we're doing errands or something like that. If you reach down to the bottom shelf at Walmart trying to grab groceries, there is a chance that you're going to print. And anybody that is looking to do anything bad is going to have easier access to that firearm because they can see it and because you have less capability of defending against it. You might not even know at all that you're even printing because your jacket moved and you just didn't notice it. So it's definitely something to be mindful of when we are outside the waistband carrying. Now, pros for inside the waistband carry. Well, as much as the outside the waistband exceeds in comfort, the inside the waistband is going to exceed in concealability. Again, this is because we are putting this firearm and holster on the inside of our belt line. That means that it is getting squished between the belt and our body. It's going to be sitting much, much closer and much, much easier to conceal. It's also not going to require quite as much in terms of clothing and those choices to get this to conceal successfully. The second pro of inside the waistband carry is going to be the security. As much as it could be easy for somebody to reach down and grab your outside the waistband carry holster because it's going to be easier to see, the inside the waistband is going to have an added layer of security because of how close it sits to our body. First off, it's going to be harder to tell that you're even carrying because of the concealment level, but even if there was a little bit of printing and somebody did see, it's going to be hard for them to clear all those garments and get down to that thing before you have a chance of defending yourself. Now to the cons for inside the waistband carry. Now, comfort is going to take a little bit more of a hit on inside the waistband carry versus outside the waistband carry. Now, that is by no means to say that inside the waistband carry is uncomfortable for everyone, because it's going to be dictated quite a bit about the firearm that you carry, the holster that you are using, and your body type. So inside the waistband carry, you can choose, like I said at the beginning, between appendix and strong side. Certain people, I myself included, I don't carry very well on the strong side position. It's just not comfortable for me and my body type. That being said, I really enjoy appendix carrying, and as soon as I started doing that for the first time, it was completely game changing for my concealed carry experience. And from then on, that's all I've done. I can conceal carry in the appendix position all day long through pretty much anything that I'm doing and not have any issues at all with comfort. That being said, appendix carry also comes with its own issues that makes it uncomfortable for other people, and they may opt for strong side carry instead. But on a whole, as a con, inside the waistband carry is going to be less comfortable than outside the waistband carry. The second con of inside the waistband carry is going to be draw speed, or the draw stroke, especially for those that are untrained. It's going to be more difficult to learn how to defeat all of those garments and get to your firearm to draw. Now, this is not something that is basically across the board always going to be a con. You certainly can train around this and become very proficient from drawing from the inside the waistband position, but it is going to take a little bit of practice, quite a bit of dry fire for you to gain that level of comfort and become efficient at it. All right, so let's talk for a second about which style of carry would be better for certain individuals. Now, if you're somebody that likes to be outside a lot, whether that is outdoor activities like hiking, running, those types of things, or you're somebody that your job requires you to be outside quite a bit, outside the waistband carry is going to be a much better option for you. Because you are carrying outside the waistband, the comfort is going to go through the roof. Yes, it doesn't conceal quite as well, but in those scenarios, you're not quite as worried about concealment. Conversely, inside the waistband carry is going to be much better for those that are around people all the time. Are you somebody that has to work at a desk? Are you somebody that is constantly commuting in and out of buses or inside of stores? You're running errands a lot. That is where inside the waistband carry is going to be a much better fit for you because of the level of concealment that you can get out of inside the waistband carry. Those of us who have a little bit bigger body types are going to also enjoy outside the waistband carry a little bit more. I, at times in my life, have had more of a stomach, and inside the waistband carry can start to become a little bit more uncomfortable. Now, that doesn't say that inside the waistband carry is no longer an option. Holsters can certainly be made to accommodate those that have a little bit bigger midsection, but on a whole, you're going to find outside the waistband carry to be more comfortable. Conversely, those of us that have smaller frames are going to kind of gear more towards inside the waistband carry. This is because we can get away with it a little bit easier than other individuals. Now, that's not to say that we can't outside the waistband carry, but we are going to have a little bit harder time at times being able to find the right clothing to conceal an outside the waistband holster versus the inside the waistband holster. All right, now, so let's go over a couple of quick tips to be successful no matter which one you decide to choose. The biggest thing across the board, and I have said this multiple times and I will continue to say this, is get yourself a belt that is made for carrying a firearm. Trying to carry with a older style leather floppy belt is going to make either mode of carry far less comfortable, far less concealable, and just a bad experience overall. If you're outside the waistband carrying with a bad belt, you're going to have a tendency for that thing to sag. It's going to want to print more. It's not going to be very consistent when you're reaching for it, and it's going to have a higher tendency for the top of the holster to want to flop out, so printing is going to be a huge issue. At the same time, inside the waistband carry with a bad belt is going to put a lot of that weight into your hips, into your lower back, and it's going to make the comfort go even further down the toilet throughout a whole day of carrying. having the proper belt is going to give you load bearing capability and stability to make sure that this thing stays where it's supposed to be and take a lot of that weight away from your body. The second biggest tip that is also going to be for both sides is try to train with these things. It doesn't have to be at a range. It doesn't have to be with actual live fire drills. A lot of stuff that we train can be done in a dry fire scenario. But unload your firearm, put the ammo in a separate room, put these things on and dry fire with them. Learn how to defeat the garment and get to your firearm. If you're carrying outside the waistband, put that jacket on that you would be wearing when you're outside your home and practice getting it out of the way and getting to your firearm. Practice all of the drills and all of the skills up to the point of pulling the trigger, and you will make yourself so much more proficient with either mode that you decide to carry with. Now, the final tip that is going to be across the board for all of these holsters is choosing the right clothing. So if we are wearing tight clothes and trying to conceal a firearm in any kind of way, we are going to have a horrible time. That's for two reasons. One, tight clothes are going to cause that firearm to print more, whether it's inside the waistband or outside the waistband. The second reason is, heaven forbid you had to use it, tight clothing is going to get in the way and have a higher chance of snagging and preventing you from getting to your firearm. So we want to make smart choices. We want to wear looser fitting clothes, at least looser fitting around where this firearm is sitting. And again, we want to go back to this practice and making sure when you put this on and you put your clothing on over top of it, do a couple of reps and make sure that that clothing is not going to prevent you from getting to your firearm. All right, so now we've talked about the holsters, the pros and the cons. We've kind of talked through some of the scenarios where somebody might go one way or the other with these, but the question does still kind of remain. Do I go inside the waistband or outside the waistband? Now, this is a hard decision and something that I cannot make for you, obviously. This is something that is going to be based purely on each individual. But as somebody that makes holsters and has talked to a lot of customers through the years as they've got started into their concealed carry journeys, and as somebody myself who has been carrying for many, many years, if I could give a recommendation, those of you who are brand new to this world of concealed carry or brand new to firearms in general are going to have a bigger bang for your buck out of an outside the waistband holster. The reason being is that because it's outside the waistband, the draw is a little bit easier, and getting used to your firearm, getting the good dry fire practice in, getting used to all those firearm manipulations, and building that level of comfort and proficiency is going to be a bit easier with an outside the waistband holster. It's also going to be dual use. This can be concealed, but it can also be taken to the range when you're trying to get in that live fire practice as well. So for brand new shooters, might want to consider outside the waistband over inside the waistband, at least at the onset. All right, guys, so there you have it. There is a comparison of inside the waistband versus outside the waistband holsters. I hope that this helps you guys in making your decision on which to go with. Obviously, if there are any questions about anything we've talked about today or any of the holsters that you see here in front of you, please feel free to reach out. You can comment, you can reach out through our website, or email us at info@risenholsterco.com. Thank you again for tuning in, especially for those that are still here and still watching. But we will see you guys on the next one. God bless.